to be a male member of the fraternity Sigma social standing, Gammas, are actually operating in denial. Gamma guys have succeeded in convincing themselves they have understood the Sigma nature and their uneasy standing in the social hierarchy. Gamma guys are actually frequently in a persistent rejection of how they conform to social hierarchy, and are renowned for developing justifications for their role in the hierarchy. Stay around for this guy to understand the Gamma male from the Sigma Z guide. Here's how to identify if you are one of them. The Gamma guys, meanwhile, are outcasts within the social structure. They are driven by a need to rise. Regarding the socio-sexual hierarchy, nonetheless are disappointed by their being unable to do so. They have a very low social hierarchy that is below the position of alpha. They so much want to live in their unique combination of qualities, which frequently makes them feel a little uncomfortable. The subject's social status, therefore, their propensity for denial. The Gamma man might not be able to view himself. He is evidently quite simple to recognize. Observed from the outside, these 11 clear characteristics that you can utilize to spot a Gamma male. Number 11. They are considerate to start out with a joke. The Gamma male is considerate in all ways in nature. He is perceptive, sympathetic, and truly wants what's best for them. Is subservient and a little uneasy. His disposition ensures that he frequently exceeds. He's willing to assist individuals in his vicinity and actually listens well. Gamma men can easily sustain a big smile. A variety of friendships based on genuine compassion. Emotional intelligence, Gamma males are frequently sought after by their friends, particularly for their female friends. Their kind and sympathetic emotional support typically offers sound guidance on issues due to their sensitive nature. Gamma males are kind and compassionate by nature. Eventually the shoulder chicks arrive, when they've had their fill of crying, shattered by a dominant male. Number 10. They are kind and supportive. Gamma guys typically stand out for being very kind-hearted. They frequently enjoy giving things away, their resources and labor to appease those between them. Even though at first glance this can seem like a completely selfless deed, it frequently results from gamma radiation. They have a need for acceptance by others. The Gamma male's kindness frequently is motivated by the idea that helping others will earn their admiration, assisting through the social hierarchy, achieving the status of alpha for himself that, in his opinion, he genuinely deserves. 9. Romantic relationships. A preference for some lovely irrational notions of romance and love. Frequently, the Gamma male is not particularly appealing to traditional social standards. Typically, they don't invest a lot of their efforts at maintaining top physical condition. Neither can they effortlessly master anything, the fashion fads that society considers cool and pertinent in a similar way to alphas. Overall, this causes them to rely on a better understanding of what women desire according to rom-com imagination as opposed to real sexual activity. The Gamma man firmly holds this to be true. Like the awkward and clumsy romantic comedy, unattractive man successfully win the most gorgeous and appealing female figures like Ted, How I Met Your Mother by Mosby, and Friends of Ross Geller will fill the Gamma male with the conviction that he too may draw a lot of beautiful women, without having any characteristics that they would actually find alluring. One of the simplest methods to identify a Gamma male's irrational is the trust in romance. Only seen in the silliest of media, and thus you'll frequently observe them doing the large, passionate acts that are one time only. He feels entitled to love. Number 8. The Gamma male's existence, sincere kindness and understanding can make him kind and giving with his time. To believe one deserves women's affection, he frequently thinks that his good and his loving disposition makes him greater purity than purely sexual behavior. The Gamma male considers themselves to be the good guy. When it comes to women, entitlement expressing his gratitude, the Gamma is unaware. It is due to him believing he is a great guy, and feeling entitled as a result to female affection. In reality, he's doing exactly that. He pretends to objectify in this way. Instead of comprehending its intricacy and the complexity of human attraction, he lessens his contact with women. Frequently, the Gamma male possesses a distorted perception of sexuality, a market where women are prevalent devices that produce sex for sale. Any men who kindly give them coins. And number 7, pure love. They are nerdy and smart, one of their distinctive features. His great intelligence is Gamma masculine. Is dedicated to the topics he finds interesting. The Gamma's intellectual nature males tend to be nerdier than females, and he often becomes fixated on certain subjects. Gamma males frequently experience and consume all available information on a subject. He is able to obtain and welcomes the chance to speak with others. Their nerdiness is among the most simple. How to recognize a gamma. Additionally, those who commit themselves obsession with a single subject. Gamma guys frequently have a hobby or a skill. Sadly, despite their intellectual prowess and capacity to develop, rarely do experts in their field assist them to improve their social standing. Number 6 is ladies. They think they are not given enough credit. Owing to his superior mind, kindness toward oneself, and the idea he is greater, a lot more grounded than his male peers, the gamma guy typically experiences life in assuming that he is fundamentally overlooked by society. They frequently suppress their feelings. The public does perceive them as the gifted and nice man. The gamma's failure to attract female members, despite these apparent flaws in oneself, might frequently result in feelings of resentment of these ladies, who, in his opinion, have just failed to realize his full worth. The top 5 sexual misfits, due of his erroneous notions about he and himself and how to act to draw attention. The gamma male is typically a sexual hormone in women, an outcast in society. He particularly has trouble luring ladies, and frequently approaches romanticism in all the false methods, only to be left dumbfounded and angry. Whenever his advances are turned down, due to his sensitive temperament, women are usually delighted to have him as a friend. But when he attempts to advance things, additional sexual rejection is common. The 4th is that gamma males are at risk. The gamma man frequently considers himself as a sigma or an alpha, due of his tendency to have delusions. However, here is one quick method to identify differences between these men is their perspective on risk. Whereas sigmas and alphas have the self-confidence and self-awareness to willingly take risks, typically the gamma male is restrained by uncertainty and anxiety. Nothing infuriates a gamma male more than this, compared to feeling inferior or rejected. They tend to avoid dangers as a result, which could make them feel threatened, an unwillingness to venture outside of his comfort zone. Thirdly, they have delusions. We have stated that the gamma male is susceptible to create fantasy spiderwebs for himself, instead of having the ability to perceive the world for the real situation. Gammas frequently perceive themselves as wonderful guys that go unappreciated but have more intellectual than those occupying an emotional value alpha, social sigma or beta positions hierarchy. In reality, gamma guys frequently think that if the circumstances are proper, they would be the best qualified to do so. Occasionally, they advertise themselves as to explain their lone wolf sigmas, but in most cases, this is all there is, a deluded mentality. He sees himself in the gamma's worldview as a sort of concealed alpha, in which, if successful, he may rise to power alone. He reduced his intelligence to match the alphas. This irrational mindset results in masculine gamma, frequently expressing hatred towards his rivals, because he regards them as cheap and has a subconscious conviction that he is. Number 2, superior. Entitlement, hallucination, and a mental juggling act ultimately results in the gamma man having a pretty unstable worldview. Whenever something triggers his putting manufactured reality in doubt or implies a threat to draw attention to flaws, he has made it his mission to ignore. In these circumstances, the gamma males may be easily enraged, while he tries to preserve the perspective of the globe and his location that he has so meticulously cultivated in it. First, they have trouble expanding. Eventually, quite remote from his reality translates to him constantly finding it difficult to go through any genuine personal development, increased characteristics of males who are more affluent hierarchy, conceivable as a result of their obvious capacity for candor and addressing their flaws. The idea that the gamma man is superior to anything in his environment acknowledges his shortcomings. He thinks that society is to blame. Thus, he will never really have enough awareness of oneself to substantial expansion. Only by eschewing this false notion will reality and examining it closely, seeing oneself in the mirror, in order for the gamma male to be let free, based on his temperament and actual experience growth. Then how do? Do you understand? Are any of these gamma characteristics in you? Do you know anyone who enjoys contemplation? They think of themselves as an alpha or sigma. Actually, they are a gamma in denial. You should inform us of your observations of gamma men in the comments section. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.